Hello everyone. Welcome to the Syed School. Today, we will learn about the Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon S3. What is Amazon S3? Amazon S3 service is a simple storage bucket in the cloud which stores data in the form of objects instead of file storage or block storage. It has a simple web service interface to upload the objects and retrieve them from anywhere on the web. It is one of the first services introduced by the AWS, and it offers a high level of integration with many other AWS services. Some common use cases for S3 buckets. Website hosting. S3 can be used to host static websites, providing a cost-effective and scalable solution. Backup and archiving. S3 is a popular choice for storing backups and archives of data. Data storage for applications. Many applications use S3 to store data, including user uploads, application logs, and configuration files. Big data analytics. S3 can store massive datasets for analysis using tools like Amazon Athena or Hadoop. Media storage and streaming. S3 can be used to store and stream media files, such as videos and images. How object storage is different from traditional file storage and block storage. File storage follows hierarchical model and works at operating system level. It has folder in a folder like My Files Downloads 2012, whereas object storage has just one object per file. We could not create folder in a folder, and object storage works independently from the operating system, and we can easily access it via web. Block storage works at a lower level with the server storing files in the form of blocks using numberings, however. Object storage is independent of the server too and does not need numberings. Block and file storage needs protocol to access files over the internet. However, in object storage, data is managed using an application programmable interface (API) built on standard HTTP verbs. API defines how one application can request services or data from another application. It acts as an intermediary, handling the communication and ensuring that the requests and responses are formatted correctly. Objects and buckets. Object, file, resides in an S3 bucket, web folder. You need to work on a complete object, which means you cannot add files into objects. One file is one object. Each object is identified by unique user-specified key, file name. Each object has data and metadata. S3 object metadata is information about the data you store in S3, but it's not the data itself. Think of it like the label on a file folder or the tags on a photo. Each bucket can hold unlimited number of objects. One cannot install operating system on an object or run a database on it. Buckets. Bucket names are global, which means that your bucket name must be unique across the globe, much like the website name. Bucket names can have up to 63 lowercase letters, numbers, hyphens, and periods. You can create multiple buckets in an AWS account, up to 100 per account by default. We can choose AWS region to create a bucket, which means that if we desire latency, we choose the region closer to us, and if we desire disaster recovery, we can choose faraway regions. Objects. Objects can range in size from 0 bytes to 5 terabytes. We can store unlimited number of objects in a bucket. Every object in a bucket is identified by a unique key. Object must have unique key in a particular bucket. However, two objects in different buckets can have the same key. Object URL. Amazon S3 is an internet storage, and each object can be addressed by a unique URL using the bucket name, web service endpoint, and the object key. Let us assume that my object key is 2012 and my unique bucket name is content12, then the unique URL will be http://content12.s3.amazonaws.com/2012. One can easily access an object using the URL. Object access control. S3 bucket or an object is highly secured and is private by default, which means that only you can access it. However, you can allow access to others using ACLs, bucket policies, IAM policies. We will learn about ACL IAM policies in the upcoming videos. Static website hosting using S3. A static website does not require a full web server as it has static content. If we create a unique bucket and upload the website content to that bucket and make the bucket public, then we have a URL accessible to public. In this way, we can host a website on S3 bucket. We can make the URL more friendly using DNS service, which translates to our bucket address. Our website will leverage the durability, security, availability, and scalability of Amazon S3. Prefixes and delimiters. We know that S3 does not have files hierarchy like myfiles/2012/January. However, S3 allows the object key to use prefixes and delimiters like // . This helps us to organize objects inside the buckets logically in spite of the fact that bucket follows flat structure. If I have 3 objects like myfiles, 2012, Jan, and I want to organize them, I will use the files key names as myfiles, myfiles/2012, and myfiles/2012/January log. This helps us to store objects logically. Storage classes. S3 offers various storage classes like S3 Standard, S3 Standard IA, Infrequent Access, Amazon Glacier. Key considerations when choosing a storage class. Access frequency, how often will the data be accessed? Retrieval time, how quickly does the data need to be retrieved? Durability and availability, how important is it to protect against data loss? Cost, how much are you willing to pay for storage and retrieval? See you again, everyone. Bye.